This episode is brought to you by Farmers Market. Antibiotic and hormone-free, ethically sourced products at a price you can afford. Hello and welcome back to On the Couch with Nikki, where I bring you experts for everyone. Divorce notoriously is taxing, emotionally, mentally, and financially. Divorcing as an expat can bring with it a whole other layer of complexity and anguish as we're not divorcing in our home country. So who's with me on the couch today? I have Alexandra Tribe from Expatriate Law here to answer some pressing questions about divorcing as an expat. Divorce is a daunting decision for anybody to make, especially as an expat. Just starting from base level, does somebody have to divorce in the same place as they were married?
In fact, the answer is no. You don't have to divorce where you were married. There are often several options for someone considering divorce as an expat. They need to get advice from a lawyer in their home country and a lawyer in the home country of their spouse and the place that they are now living as an expat.
Okay, that's a lot of lawyers. A lot of people won't have the bandwidth or the wherewithal or even the knowledge to be able to process information from 3 separate lawyers. Is it something that your firm could offer as a one-stop shop where you can kind of do it all?
Yes, absolutely. We have very good connections with lawyers in most jurisdictions that we work with regularly, so we can obtain that advice with the client's help and bring the advice from the different jurisdictions together so that the client can have an even view of the likely financial outcome in each jurisdiction so they can make an informed decision.
Brilliant. I think that already would be a relief to so many people to know that you can just consolidate all the information and then just give advice on how to navigate it and which direction to go in.
Yes, absolutely. Legal advice is very important. They also need to start thinking about the financial position of the family, get together any information they have about the family finances, assets, pensions, savings, investments, bank statements, the earnings of their spouse.
Okay.
That information will be really important. It'll also keep legal costs down because if they come to initial meeting armed with that information, they'll get the most out of the meeting.
Okay, let's say somebody just has no clue and doesn't know and can't access it. It's still possible?
Absolutely. From an English law perspective, the first stage of settlement is the disclosure process.
What happens if once proceedings have begun that one party cuts the other one off financially and provides no financial aid?
If this happens, it's obviously a very urgent situation. We would write to the other party urgently, inviting them to provide interim maintenance and invite them to pay for the spouse and any children.
That's a lovely invitation, but what if they don't?
If they don't do that, then we can make an urgent application to court if this couple are divorcing through the English courts.
Yes.
So an application can be made to the English courts for interim financial provision.
How long does that take?
Usually a hearing is listed within 6 to 8 weeks. So it's a short time frame.
It's a long time with no money.
It's a long time with no money, but when you get to that hearing 6 weeks later, an order will be made, and that can helpfully include a legal services order, which is an order that the spouse provide a lump sum or a monthly payment towards the other party's legal fees. If it's a case where there isn't going to be a dispute about finances, it's so straightforward, and often the other party will choose not to have a lawyer. There's no need to go to unnecessary expense. If it's a straightforward divorce with no other issues, the costs are very low indeed. It's a straightforward administrative process, and often only one party will need a divorce lawyer.
Wow, so if it's amicable, it can be a pretty smooth process.
Yes, absolutely.
And inexpensive.
Absolutely.
So it's only when it's acrimonious that it becomes turbulent.
We as a firm encourage an amicable approach to divorce.
Yes.
Because the agreement that a couple reach between them on divorce is much more likely to be long-standing, a lasting agreement for the future rather than one that's imposed by the court. I often find that once the financial aspects have been resolved, I like to leave the children issues aside in my negotiations.
Yeah.
And I find often when the financial settlement has been reached, the children issues fall into place, the parties relax and are able then to come together more to resolve contact issues, how often the children will be on holiday with each parent, that kind of thing.
If it is hostile, then people are looking for ways to hurt the other person, and usually that's through children and finances.
Yeah.
So with divorces, how long, I know it's how long is a piece of string, but how long generally does the process take?
Well, in England, the process takes around 5 to 6 months. That's the divorce process alone. Usually the financial aspects will be resolved alongside the divorce. The financial side, if there are negotiations and a settlement can be reached at an early stage, everything will be tied up together by the time the divorce is complete in 5 to 6 months. If the finances can't be resolved and court proceedings are necessary, the process can be longer, up to a year.
So your firm deals with British divorces?
Yes, that's right. We assist British expats or those with links to England to divorce through the English courts.
Okay, so if I wasn't English, but I was married to somebody English, I could still contact you?
Yes,
Okay.
you could.
The children side of things is huge when it comes to marriages ending as an expat. Who gets the children? Where are the children going to live? The Hague Convention. Can I run away with my children? No, you can't. There's a lot to navigate.
Whereas for divorce, the English courts will accept applications if an expat has those links to England, as we discussed.
Yeah.
For children issues, it's different. The English courts do not have the power to make any decisions in respect of children that do not live in England. Any aspects such as if there is a dispute about who the child should live with, those must be dealt with by a lawyer advising on the law of the country in which they live.
So your firm deals with anybody who has a connection to Britain. However, if there are other countries involved, you can act as a conduit between them all and consolidate. So people just need to make a phone call to you and they can get a précis of what's to come?
Yes, that's right. We assist expats worldwide to divorce through the London court.
If you are contemplating a divorce as an expat, make sure you do all your preparations. Definitely get good legal advice. If you have any connections to Britain, contact Expatriate Law. They can help navigate through the whole system and act as a conduit between you and any other jurisdictions that pertain to your situation. Thanks everyone, I'll see you next time.